Hello and welcome back to the Wheel Talk podcast. I know last week we said we would have a big end of season chat today about the season as a whole, but we're going to take a little detour. I'm going to talk with Kate Ventoux from Zwift about the route reveal of the Tour de France Femmes avec Zwift that happened on Thursday last week. We talk all about Riders to Watch, what we're excited about, and the fact that the race is 1 week after the men's. So there's a big gap between the two. We will be back next week to talk season end. So if you haven't submitted any questions to us, make sure to send us a voice memo. You can find us at escapecollective.com/hello and send a voice memo in to be featured on the podcast. And thanks everyone so much for listening. Here is my chat with Kate. I'm here with one friend in particular, but a very special one to talk about the 2026 Tour de France Femmes avec Zwift route. Kate Ventoux, hello. Welcome to the podcast.
Hello, Abby. So happy to be here.
I am so excited to talk to you today about the 2026 route for the Tour de France Femmes avec Zwift. Obviously, you're the director of women's strategy at Zwift and have had a huge influence in Zwift sponsoring the race and being part of women's cycling history. So, and you've been on the pod before, very long time friend of the pod. So welcome to the podcast and thank you for the time.
Long-time listener, big time fan.
You're in Paris right now. How is it?
Oh, it's beautiful. I love the city. That's one of the joys of this partnership is coming here a bit, to meet with ASO and really enjoy it. I always try and take a little time around my official duties to take in the sights and just walk and enjoy and take it all in.
Hit up the Cezanne store. That would be my first stop.
Yes, definitely.
Shopping. How was the big route reveal? Because it's the only women's race that has this like huge spectacle of a route reveal, and I was watching it on live TV. It's really cool, and you get to see the riders like out of kit, which is always really fun. And like if Gracie was here, we would talk about like how we really need a red carpet for the women to walk.
It's pretty outstanding. One thing I really love about the French is they like to celebrate. They like pomp and circumstance. They like things to be big and flashy and exciting. And they put a lot of energy into creating this drama. And you walk into this auditorium and it's like 3,000 or 4,000 people. It's huge. And it's almost like you're looking at like an IMAX screen. And there's like mini screens like at a sporting event where they're like they'll talk about Zwift and then they'll zoom in on Eric Mint. I mean, it's really special. And they put a lot of energy into the production of the videos and they're beautiful. They're really, the music kind of grabs you. They're very dramatic. They create kind of these tense moments and, they really capture that je ne sais quoi of the Tour de France. And it's really fun to be a part of that now. And each year, I'm delighted to say, of the 2-hour presentation, the women's has been taking up more and more time. To this year, it was like 50-50. And the women's race is 9 stages. It was incredible.
Yeah, and you had a big announcement yesterday that Zwift is going to continue sponsoring for 4 more years, which is huge.
Oh, Abby, I'm so happy. Yes, we are absolutely continuing. I think we all know this has really exceeded all expectation and been such a proud company moment. It's been good for our bottom line, been great for our community. We're so proud and so thrilled to extend. And I just can't imagine now us ever not being a part of this race.
Yeah, I mean, it's really like you're hand in hand now. So I think it would be more shocking to not have Zwift in the title. And I know, like from a fan of both Zwift and obviously this race, I just love the impact that the platform has had on women's cycling with the sponsorship of both this and Paris-Roubaix avec Zwift. Like, oh, it's so great. And I think that with you involved, it really puts a lot of pressure on the race itself to be at a certain level. And I think that it wouldn't be where it is without you.
Oh, thank you. It's really special because we truly have like a shared mission with ASO. I mean, ASO loves to put on a big race, and they're a for-profit race organizers. But with us, it's so cool because our end goal is just to grow the sport. Like my job is to grow women's cycling because it will naturally grow on Zwift. So with this race, we're able to do so much around, kind of community building, getting people just psyched about cycling. And
Mm-hmm.
that's so it comes all very naturally for us. And it's a very authentic partnership. So it's been a ton of fun.
Yeah, and we've talked before about the impact of Zwift sponsoring this race and name recognition, and just that you have seen more women on the platform because of this race.
Yeah, big increases, like really big increases. Yeah, like I said, that's what it was all about. Like we were just like, hey, like we want this inspiration to drive participation, and to see that happening so fast in just the 4 years. And one of the things that I thought was the coolest was La Tap this year, like the La Tap de Tour de France Femmes, avec Zwift. This was the first edition in 2025 that was, part of the women's race for an event that has happened at the men's race for 20 or 30 years.
Mm-hmm.
And the men's La Tap, it sells out almost immediately, 16,000 people, and has always been like 6 to 7% women. And the first year of the La Tap de Tour de France Femmes avec Zwift was 32% women. And it just shows that this is inspiring women to ride. And that at the end of the day, that's what it's all about. And so I can't wait. I'm actually really excited about this year's La Tap as well.
Yeah, I mean, I was messaging you during the route
Yeah.
reveal that it's my turn. It's my turn
Yay.
to do, because you've done rides that weren't La Tap with Lauren the first year that we were on the ground, and then with Georgie last year, and it's my turn to do La Tap. And actually, I'm excited. I'm excited to do Mont Ventoux. I think it's gonna be
God,
great.
we're gonna have so much fun. We're gonna ride together.
Yeah, you're too fast for me.
Well,
All right. Well, let's talk route, because
yes.
there was a lot of speculation in the days leading up to the race about what the route would be. I know we talked at length on the podcast last week about time trials, and I was writing the whole newsletter about how time trials are dying. And I was writing it and I was laughing in the back of my head because I was like, oh, just watch in like 2 days when they announce the tour route and there's a time trial. And there was. And the time trial is Georgie approved as well. So that's exciting because she knows what she's talking about. But we already knew that the race was going to start in Switzerland. This is going to be the second foreign departure for the Tour de France Femmes avec Zwift, and it's the home region of the UCI. So what was kind of the thought process, and what went into it starting in Switzerland in the first place?
Yeah, the Grand Depart is such a genius move by ASO to bring the race to new territories that also have a different kinds of, passion for cycling and different histories in cycling. And this is also hollowed cycling terrain with the UCI base there. It's spectacularly beautiful. A lot of pros train there. It's going to be wonderful to kick off the race. Also, I can already see the helicopter views and, the landscape, it's everything that you want from the Grand Depart to be truly grand and draw people in right away. And I know the fans are really going to come out. I've had so many people message me because it's a nice area where it's really accessible from a lot of different countries. Mm-hmm. So you're going to have a lot of internationals coming because it's also it's a destination. It's somewhere that people want to go. It's a great excuse to go. And I believe we're going to see insane crowds on those first couple days. And it's nice to have to be concentrated in an area too, because people come and stay for 3 stages.
Yeah, it's one of my favorite things about this race, like compared to the men's race, that you have multiple stages where you can just stay in one place and hit multiple different stages. And it was the same, like, yeah, in Rotterdam when we were there, it was amazing, like being in Rotterdam for a couple days, and it was so nice. And so when I was watching the route reveal, I was like, oh, sweet, one Airbnb. But also we have so much talent in the women's peloton from Switzerland.
Yes.
Yeah, like the TT World Champ is from Switzerland. That's going to be really exciting. There's Elise Shabby, who lights up every race she's in. Noemi Ruig, who's on the, like, just getting better and better every year. So in terms of Swiss talent, that means that it's like there's hometown heroes to cheer for from the fans' perspective.
It's fantastic. And it's great for audiences as well. We saw in Rotterdam, 50% of TVs that were turned on watched the Grand Depart in Rotterdam. And so to build up that national kind of pride and fandom, it's huge. So we're really excited to bring the race to Switzerland for the first time. And also, I think it's a very special thing about the sport that you can, people can have kind of home court advantage. And I think it's going to be great, when you have the Swiss fans coming out, to really, show up for Marlon, Elise, Naomi, maybe Demi.
Yeah, true. Demi, like she lives in Switzerland. She's like part Swiss at this point. But yeah, and like we saw in this year with the tour starting in Brittany, that there were so many riders from the area that like really shone in the whole week of the race, because they got to start with their families around them. They all had cheer squads, and then that energy really fed into their entire week of racing, and it was really incredible. So if it gives Marlon a little extra something, then people need to
out.
People need to be worried.
I mean, look what she does at Tour de Suisse. Come on.
Yeah. Well, opening stage, 137 kilometers long, in Lausanne from start to finish. And I'm going to butcher every single name probably. If you can say it better, then welcome.
No, not yet. Because I learned the route yesterday as well, just so you know. I knew couple key moments, but no, this is something that is it's traditional for ASO. Nobody knows. People at the ASO don't know. Only a few people know the route. It is one of the best kept secrets. It's like the Oscar winners.
It's like a Taylor Swift album announcement.
Yes. I knew we were going to get it to Tay-Tay at some point.
I already have in my head, like I started this year doing the podcast intros with riders, and I already know who I'm going to ask to do each of the stages, and I'm like so excited about it.
Well,
anyway, opening stage, it's one of the flattest stages of the race, but it still has 3 categorized climbs, and it ends on a 2.5 kilometer long climb. So it's not really a sprinter's race.
No.
Sure, I think that you could look at Wiebes for a win like this, because based on how she rode in 2025, but I feel like this course actually really suits someone like Noemi, someone like Voss. Like it's a really, really interesting opening stage that is similar to the first stage this year, but not as challenging. But I think that it is, as it's one of the only flat stages, but not really, it's really interesting how like these 2 first opening stages are going to be for any team that has a sprinter that wants to maybe try their hand. What do you think?
Yeah, absolutely. Fireworks from the start, but these are not flat stages. There's quite a bit of bumps. And yeah, I think you're going to see a lot of attacks, obviously. It's going to be really feisty from the start. And I don't think it's going to be sprinters that are going to take the first stage.
No, I mean, I think like if I'm looking at this right now, based on how this season went, like you would say it would be another chance for Voss to take a yellow jersey, which she's not going to get that many more in her career, I think.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. Yeah, this has Voss's name all over it.
Yeah. All right, stage, like you said, very bumpy opening. So stage 2, 5 categorized climbs over 149 kilometers from Agile to Geneva. And this starts where the UCI's home base is. So very significant for them. Yes. And another not flat, but this is, again, one of the flattest courses on the course, on the whole route. So this was one of the things that I immediately flagged when the route was announced, that sprinters need not apply.
Definitely not. Yeah, another one. This one's gonna it will reward the brave. Punchy, very punchy. Also very excited for the incredible imagery we're gonna get along the lake
Yeah. I mean, all three of these stages, the whole tour is stunning, but I mean, these ones are going to be really incredible. And I think that the parkour means that the riders won't really get to enjoy it like they would with a sprint stage.
Yeah.
But I find it really interesting how from the beginning, the stages are billed as being flat, but they're really not. And I think of the two, this one is maybe less selective than the first stage, which has like one bigger climb in it. And the only longer climb, it's about 3.2 kilometers long straight into a 2.5 kilometer long climb, like back to back. And that one is still early in the stage, 33 kilometers into the stage. So it's not going to make a huge difference, but this is like maybe the flattest stage of the whole race with a flat finish. So it'll be interesting to see how the teams take this stage. And I think that you're right. Like it will reward anyone who has the guts to try to make something stick. But I think with the way that the rest of the race is, it's like if you have a fast finisher who wants to win a stage, this is it.
Actually, I'm looking at it myself right now at the profile, and also that last 40K is going to be so fast. So if they can survive the first, which we all know, like the sprinters in the women's peloton are quite good climbers. So yeah, it definitely could come down to that.
Stage 3 is when we enter France, starting in Geneva. And then we have some significant climbing right off the bat, 11.4 kilometers climb, and then 3 more categorized climbs before the finish. And this one is like, this kind of kicks off what is a series of, I would say, rouleur, like gutsy rider type stages. And I feel like, barring the time trial on stage 4, that we're going to see a lot of surprise winners like we did this year.
Yeah, I think it's going to be like early classics almost, where anybody can win, honestly. And the GC contenders are obviously going to be saving a bit, like, and sending their sergeants off to cover things and maybe even attack. So it'll be interesting. That first climb is no joke. It's
I mean, it's like, ouch, right out the gate.
So, but they're definitely going to be sending some people up the road. It'll be interesting. It just kind of descends all the way down to the finish.
And 157 kilometers, so it's not nothing. It's not the longest stage of the race, which we'll get to the longest stage of the race, but it is on the longer side for a stage of a women's tour.
Yep. Yeah. Again,
so
it's just
tiring.
This is and it's gonna be thrilling. I can definitely see that the first couple stages just are gonna have so much good action, like everything that we want from the first couple stages of the tour. With some of those breakthrough performances and surprise attacks, and I
mean, the best thing about the tour is that it's like, no matter who wins, it's really exciting.
always. Telling you, every year I'm like, that was too good. It can't get better. So
it could be a favorite and it could be a surprise. And either way, the way in which it unfolds is always just so good. The fourth stage is one of the most exciting stages of the race, because it is a 21 kilometer time trial ending in Dijon. And this one, it's not flat. There is one small climb in it. It's only at 1.8 kilometers long, the climb. So it's not quite enough to really favor the GC riders, which I think makes it even more exciting, because coming up you have a huge mountain climb in the tail end of the race. So this really, not only is it an opportunity for the time trial specialists like Reusser, who will be racing in the rainbow bands, which we obviously didn't get to see this year, the rainbow bands out on course. So it's an opportunity for the TT specialists to show their prowess in the tour, but also it breaks up the GC in a really interesting way, where it will give a little bit of an advantage going into the later half of the race to someone like Reusser, someone like Anna van der Breggen.
Yeah, and potentially a disadvantage to somebody like Kasia. So, this is that's a power time trial. When this stage was announced at the tour, I could hear Georgie in my head like scream. Lisa like, whoa.
Yeah. She was
So
excited in the group chat, that's for sure.
it's a classic time trial. I think it's going to be fantastic to give the true time trialists their opportunity to shine and where they're going to on this stage, especially those rainbow bands. But I'm also excited to see because we haven't had a lot of time trials who especially because even the world time trial was wow, that was intense.
Hmm.
That for a more classic time trial like this, it's like you just never know because there's just so many engines out there, like like the current world champion right now. There's some incredible engines that we might see put down some really good times and bump their way up in the GC.
Yeah, you're right. Like we don't have many like flat time trials for the women. And so this is super exciting because like even the Giro time trials have had hills and had obstacles in them. And this one is very pure time trial type course. And it's also early in the race. And the last time trial that was longer that we had was in Po, the closing stage of the 2023 race. And that was, the very end of the race, the general classification was basically wrapped up at that point.
Mhm.
And so this is a whole different situation, a whole different dynamic.
Yep.
Stage 5 is another hilly one. This one's like just never quits. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 categorized climbs over
Oh,
140 kilometers. So this is just going to be boom, 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 boom. This is one of my favorite types of races to watch because the finish is flat. The final 7 kilometers is flat, but everything leading up to it is not. And it starts on a 9.6 kilometer long climb. So it's going to be one for the opportunists. I think like if I was an Allison Jackson, someone who doesn't have any problem going hard and going early and seeing
hmm.
what sticks, this is your day.
Absolutely. Yeah, this one is Sawtooth. It looks good. It's definitely going to be great TV.
Yeah. Stage 7 is a bit the same as well, with like
Yeah.
6 categorized climbs over 153 kilometers, and the last like 13 kilometers is basically downhill. So it's another day that like it could be a
Oh,
little
you're
bit
saying stage
more.
six?
Sorry, yeah, stage 6. Stage 6. You're right. Stage 6. And it could be a little bit more for the GC riders, I think, because the climbs are a little bit bigger than stage 5, but it's another really, really interesting one. I think this one reminds me a little bit of the one that Maeve Squibbon took in this year's tour,
Yes.
where we had Cedrine Kerbal trying to descend to a stage victory, and it was too late, and we already had Squibbon off the front taking her second stage.
Yeah, this is definitely going to bring out the mountain goats. It's just enough climbing that we'll definitely start to see the separation. And I'd love to see something like a Maeva Scuban take the chance. And there's also some really good descending in here. So like a Cedrine would be really cool to see really take off after one of the peaks.
Yeah, this is one where you want to recon this one
Yeah,
before the race because I think
absolutely.
that this one might surprise people with how challenging it ends up
Yes.
being when you're actually on course.
Yep.
And then the big one, stage 7.
Yay.
This is the queen stage. This is the
Oh,
as the Tour de France Femmes avec Zwift goes year after year, we check one iconic climb off the list, and next year is Mont Ventoux.
oh man, I was so happy that the rumors were true. Ventoux is just one of the quintessential Tour de France climbs. The imagery of this climb, I don't know if you've done it, but it is really hard. And then it opens up and like you go through a forest, a winding forest, and then you sort of open up into this moonscape. And it makes for stellar imagery and stellar attacks like we saw in the men's race last year. That was sensational with Ben Healy and the French, the French rider that ended up taking him at the line. This is going to be so much fun to watch, but this is where the GC breaks open.
Oh yeah, this is going to be so hard. I mean, it's 16 kilometers long basically, and it feels longer than that. There's a couple of
Mm.
small climbs in the lead up to it, but
Yep.
they look like completely insignificant compared to Mont Ventoux. And this is a familiar climb. Unlike a lot of the climbs that have been featured in the Tour de France Femmes avec Zwift before, this one is familiar to the women because it's part of Ardèche every once in a while. So riders will know this one, where they didn't know climbs that we've tackled before. And yeah, I raced up this in 2018, and I feel like
you did that.
I felt like it just went forever. Like I remember just being like, what is this hell that I'm in? And I kept like seeing the markings on the side of the road, like how is it still 7K to go?
And I'm calling it now. This is going to be probably where the cheer squad will be on this day that we had the giant corner in partnership with Iris Slappendale's group. I'm super thrilled because the L'Etape de Tour de France Femmes avec Zwift will take place the day before this stage on Ventoux. So all these fans are going to stick around and line the mountain too. So we will get that classic Tour de France stage with some people in costumes running alongside the riders. No, it's gonna be a fun one. This is where the real fireworks happen.
Yeah, this is going to be so much fun. And like you said, this is the GC day. Like any time, they have 6 days to make time on Pauline Ferrand-Prévot before this stage. And this is the stage where all of the GC riders will be preparing for 16 kilometers worth of Tour de France Femmes avec Zwift, and it's on Mont Ventoux. And it's a climb that is quite gradual at points. So it's a slow leg burner, this one. And I think we're just going to see kind of a race of attrition on Ventoux. And like we saw this year with Pauline, like she was untouchable. And now we know what she can do. We know what others can expect going into next year. And there's still a lot of racing to come in the race with the final 2 stages, but man, it's going to be really hard to beat her on this climb.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is. But I really want to see, like I watched the whole tour again. I watched it several times, and I don't think we can discount what happened to Demi on stage, was it 4 of this year's race?
Yeah, when she crashed. Yeah.
So I think that nothing is already decided.
Yeah, and I mean Gigante as well. Like
absolutely, without open up like this and just go.
The Giro, she won't have the Giro fresh in her legs going into this year's tour. I think with a climb like this, like with the time trial, we'll have to see.
It's a blank slate.
Yeah, exactly. So it's not like it's Pauline's. No. It may be Pauline's race to lose, but there are definitely others who will surprise us, I think. And Demi, she's pissed. Yeah. She wants to win the Tour de France Femmes again. Does. And so I think for her, like, this is going to be, she's going to be extremely focused on this. And going into this year's race, Pauline was a bit of an unknown and Demi was the favorite. And then, she didn't win it. And I think she's going to be really, really going into this with a lot of anger and a lot of determination.
Yes.
Stage 8 is long, 175 kilometers, and it's the third flattest stage of the race. There is some climbing in the beginning, and then the last half is basically downhill with 2 poppy little climbs before they get to the finish, 1.4 kilometer long and 2.5. So really small climbs before they finish in Nice, but the longest stage of the race at 175 kilometers and stage 8 too. So it's going to be just exhausting, this one.
Yeah, because it pretty much goes up the first half and then down the second half. Mm-hmm. And I think this one is all it's, depending on what happened the day before, that's this stage.
Yeah, exactly. I think this one is going to be like it's another breakaway stage in my eyes. In between which means it's going to be really exciting because that there are so many riders who are going to try to ride Ventoux as easy as they can in order to go into this stage to get a stage victory. There are teams that are going to be at this point in the race walking away with nothing. And so they're going to go full gas into that stage. So by no means is it going to be a boring stage, but it's, I think, definitely not one for the GC riders, especially with what we've got on tap for the final stage. Stage 9 is
about 9.
my favorite stage of the whole
When
race.
I look at it, when I'm looking at it right now, I'm looking at the profile. It looks like a workout on Zwift.
Oh my God. I am so excited. I'm so excited for this stage.
It's
starting and finishing
nuts.
in Nice. Yeah. 99 kilometers. And you know, when it's short, that it's going to be just like totally insane. It's laps of the Col d'Ez and it's 7.7 kilometers long. So they just go up, down, up, down, up, down 4 times.
6%. That's no joke. It's not shallow.
Yeah. No, it's going to be really, really hard. And then it descends to the finish, which means that, you know, it's, you know, Kassia's name is all over the finish of this, Elisa Longoborghini. Like, yeah, some really, really fast descenders are going to be eyeing this. And it's one final chance to make any moves on the GC. I don't think that it's going to, like, maybe the yellow jersey is wrapped up, but I don't think that the GC will be wrapped up because this stage is a lot more significant than you would think. I mean, it's going to be so fast.
Yeah, and on that last ascent, they actually they do a little detour and they add in a little more of a steep detour up a different, slightly different route. The last climb. So
yeah, so the last one is
nasty.
7.6 average.
Yeah,
for 6 kilometers.
Yeah,
Ouch.
this one, it's like, that's going to be fun. And what a delight for fans on the ground. So come on out.
Yeah, this is, if you're going to go to one stage of the Tour de France Femmes and it's not fun too, you want to go to this stage because they'll pass you 4 times and it's going to be the best of the best on the front of the peloton for this stage. It's going to be so much fun. And I mean, you know, I love a circuit. After. Yeah, exactly. There's nothing, the best part about this stage is that there is nothing to lose. Like you leave it all on the road for this stage. So really, really excited for the whole race. And I think that the tour every year, the route is just so fascinating because the Giro is its own beast when it comes to climbing and epic climbs in Italy and stuff. But the tour has really stepped up the development of a cohesive route where the race builds on itself. And I think they've done a really good job this year with having some GC stakes early in the race with the time trial, having the big climb, but then having this stage, which is like, okay, well, anything could happen on this stage. Yeah.
The sentiment of everybody coming out of the route reveal yesterday was very excited. This is a course that's going to showcase the depth of the women's peloton. It's going to create opportunities for the brave, for the breakout stars. Everybody knows that all eyes will be on the Tour de France Femmes avec Zwift this week, and it's your moment to shine. And we've seen it every year that new stars are created, and I cannot wait to see who shines on this course.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, I think it's like this year we had so many breakout riders who like just catapulted themselves onto the scene of women's cycling. And we've had it in years past with like Sidrine Krabal, for example. So it's just a huge opportunity for a lot of riders. And there's a reason that this race has become what it has in such a short amount of time. And I think with the route that we have for next year and the fact that there's a whole week in between the men's race and the women's race for the first time.
Can we talk about that?
Oh my God, I'm so excited. I'm so excited for the logistically. For
Abby, we're 4 years.
My husband taking my children so that I can go.
We're 4 years in, and now this race will stand alone. Will have, you know, the cycling universe, the attention of the cycling universe focused on it. All the media, all the coverage, all the broadcasts. I cannot wait. I'm really, that was a big deal for me this year when I talk about the different evolutions of the race each year and the developments. This is a big one, and I'm thrilled that this race will stand alone and be the premier sporting event of the summer.
Yeah, the first step was moving the Grand Depart away from Paris, away from the men's race, and creating that separation with the start being in Clermont-Ferrand. And And that was step one. And then, we had the Olympic year was 2024 was a bit of an odd one, because you had the Olympics. And so there was a gap between but there was a lot of like sport fatigue going into the Tour de France Femmes avec Zwift with the Olympics happening right after the tour. But for this one, this is going to be this is whole new territory. It's so exciting that there's going to be a week for fans to decompress. And if you're going to both races, you have a week to hop around. I mean, it's going to be so nice to have that break and have that separation from the men's race, because I think it's really, really important that the women's race stand on its own.
Absolutely. And they have demonstrated that they can. And I don't know if you know this, but the 7.7 million in France alone that watched Pauline win last year on stage 9, that was the second highest peak audience of the men's or women's tour last year.
Epic.
The
Amazing.
only thing higher was the men in the Montmartre in Paris.
Oof.
Boom.
That was a really good stage.
It was amazing. But
that was maybe the best stage of the men's race, which says a lot that it was it's going to be so good. I'm so excited. And there's so many French women who are coming into the scene and are so talented apart from Pauline as well. And that means that, the French viewers, they really get behind the race. So it's a huge, huge year next year for the Tour de France Femmes avec Zwift. And I think that they've delivered a route worthy of the year that we will have.
Absolutely.
Well, thank you so much for your time. It was so great to chat route with you. I know, if there's anyone who's as excited about women's cycling as me, it's you. So,
I am so thrilled. Yeah, what a moment we're all in. And I truly do, Abby. I feel like we're just getting started. This is just on the up and up. And yeah, I'm grateful for all the excitement that you all bring to it. And I'm telling you, after every race weekend, I'm just tuning in right away because it's like hanging out with my friends, talking about the race. Let's go.
Yeah, I can't wait. I'm already planning my outfits already. Yes. And I know you are too. Yeah, the nails are fierce. Always. It was one of the things I was like, oh man, route reveal, what's Kate gonna wear?
Yeah, it is funny because somebody asked me yesterday, oh, when do you start shopping? I'm like, well, now that I know the terrain, I will start my planning as well. So
yes, exactly. Now you know what you can
a little bit of Swiss flair. Nice is very nice. There's
the Nice stage,
the French Riviera. Oh,
yeah.
Great.
A lot of pressure for the Nice
Probably
stage.
A big hat.
Oh,
I don't think something.
Oh, can I wear a cowboy hat? Oh, man. That's exciting.
Great to see you, Abby. I really appreciate it.
Yeah, really good to see you too. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
This episode was produced, edited, and mixed by Will Jones at Red Bricks Media.